I better go ahead and put this thing in fifth gear. I said he still loves you. We're going to go ahead and get on out of here. I'll come back next week and deal with the rest of the text. But y'all pushing me now. So let me go ahead and change gears one time and get us on out of here. The Bible says that he showed up and he asked Adam, where are you? I'm out of here now. But if you'll let me tell my story, I'll take my seat. Is that all right? If I tell you a short story and I'll take my seat, there was a little boy who was trying out for the football team, and the coach told him, you need to weigh at least 100 pounds. And the little boy was so discouraged because he only weighed 89 pounds. So every day the boy tried all that he could to gain weight, but he couldn't reach 100 pounds. Every day he asked for more food at the dinner table, but he couldn't weigh 100 pounds. Every day he prayed that the Lord would increase his weight to 100 pounds. And no matter how hard he tried, he could not reach 100 pounds. Some of you are in here this morning that's like that boy. You're trying to reach 100, but you're falling short. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, we fall short sometimes, but that's all right. Tell them that's all right. We fall short sometimes, but that's all right. The boy tried every day to reach 100 pounds, but he couldn't get there. So one morning he went into the room and he stood on the scale, and the scale said 94 pounds. The boy had got excited, but a week went by and the scale said 93 pounds. He was trying hard, but he was losing weight. Tell your neighbor, sometimes it can feel like you're going in the opposite direction. I wish I had a praying church. Sometimes when you take 2 steps forward, you get knocked back 3 steps. Yes, this little boy had got frustrated. He went to the scale. He said, this is my last time. If I don't weigh 100, I'm not going to play football. He stepped on the scale. The scale said 92 pounds. The boy stood there. Tears began to welt up in the sockets of his eye and rolled down like streaming rivers on his face. He stood there in amazement that he had not gained the weight. Some of you feel like that boy. You're trying to make 100, but you keep falling short. And now you're crying about it because you really want to be all that God has told you to be, but you keep falling short. Well, yes, that morning while he was standing on the scale, something happened, y'all. The scale went from 92 pounds well over 100 pounds. The boy said, what happened here? I was just standing here. It said 92 pounds, but I'm still standing here, and it's well over 100 pounds. What the little boy did not realize is that his daddy came in the bathroom, put his foot on the scale. Yes, and I'm so glad that we serve a God that'll put his foot on the scale. When you fall short, we got a God that'll put his foot on the scale. Won't the Lord come in the room? Won't he do it? Won't he do it? He'll come in the room. Yes, he will. You need to tell God that. You need to tell the Lord, come on in the room. Be my doctor when I'm sick. Is there anybody that's ever been sick and the doctor told you there's nothing they can do? But thanks be to God, he put his foot on the scale. Is there anybody that's ever been in trouble and the lawyer told you there's nothing I can do? Then God come in the room, put his foot on the scale. Somebody told you you'll amount to nothing. You will never be nothing. But thanks be to God, he came in the room, put his foot on the scale. He told me to tell you that no matter how much you weigh, it does not matter, because his foot balances the scale. High five your neighbor and say, neighbor, God will put his foot on the scale. Yes, yes, yes. Hey, I thank God that he put his foot on the scale. Somebody gave up on you. You're not supposed to be here giving God glory, but the reason you made it is because God put his foot. He put his foot on the scale. Shout yes! Shout yes! Shout yes! Y'all got to excuse me, but that's celebratory to me that the Lord has enough weight to change your outcome. That's good news to me. You ought to tell the devil right now, I may not weigh much to you, but I'm heavy in God's kingdom because I got somebody standing behind me that's putting his foot on the scale. Say what you want to say. Do what you want to do. I got a God that's in the room. High five your neighbor and say, neighbor, is God in your room? If he's in your room, you got a right to give God glory. If he's in your room, you got a right to give God praise. If he's in your room, you got a right to worship God. Give him glory. Give him glory. Give him glory. Yes. Yes. Hey. Hey. I'm out of here now, but I feel something. Hey. Sometimes you just got to holler when you realize that you shouldn't be here. Sometimes you just got to holler when you know you come this far by faith. Sometimes you just got to holler when the Lord has brought you from a mighty long ways. Sometimes you just got to holler when everybody else counted you out, but Jesus took you. Shout yes! 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 God will put his foot on the scale. And all of us are like Adam. We've messed up, but we serve a God who's faithful to forgive us and put his foot on the scale. As a matter of fact, we thank God that his foot stays on the scale. Because left up to us, we never make 100.
Yes.
But thanks be to God, he puts his foot on the scale.